Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing? We have another class. I think last week we had a pretty good class. We went over basic technicals. We went over the stocks that was moving and we answered some questions. So today, that's the aim, that's the goal. Same thing. And yeah, have you guys out of here before 9. All right, so if you guys got any stocks, any questions, right? If you're a beginner, let's put a 1 in the chat. Right? If you're a little bit experienced, not necessarily beginner, put a 2. And then if you are experienced, then you can put a 3. All right. So you can get a good understanding of where we are all at. So you could control what we learned today. Let's see. What's this? What's this? Arm. Arm is looking decent. So notice out of all these, I'm just like, okay, wow. Why? Right? This is the goal for you guys to see what I'm seeing and understand why. Right? How was I able to pick Microsoft yesterday? But how much did Microsoft go? I think 50 something. And it was a pretty choppy day yesterday. And then today, what was it? It's Netflix and no, yesterday was Netflix. Today was Tesla. There's so much. But yeah, these a lot of opportunities doing pretty good. But let's see. It's only because the technicals, right? Just spotting certain things. We got a 3. Okay, yep, we got two threes in here. Latanya and we got Brian. Yes, sir. Brian. Yeah, Meta, there you go. Brian remembers. See, Brian is on point. Brian is on point, all right? Brian's been spotting a lot of trades before or as I'm spotting it, or probably before, right? Out of all these stocks you guys are seeing, right? And this is only just like a third of what I watch. But yeah, Brian, he's been doing the one-on-ones. Uh really only did like maybe like 3 or 4. But he's kind of scary good. It's getting creepy. To know that right before I call something, he's like already posting it in the members play section. All right. And the reason why it's interesting because as you see all these stocks, um, sometimes most of them are flat or they just don't have momentum, right? So the skill becomes checking out all these stocks and then being able to pick beforehand the one that's likely to have the most momentum, right? That's half the battle. And then you got to get the entry if it actually does move, while also protecting yourself and managing your emotions from all the fake outs that there are in the market of the ones that potentially look like they're going to move, right? And that's a skill. And knowing the technicals, knowing what the price action should look like, what it's doing, will give you the details of what it is, right? So I feel like a lot of this stuff in trading, we could categorize it in like either black and white. Hey, prices can go up or down. Um, we're bullish, we're bearish, right? And that's how our brain thinks. It's really black and white. It's hard to see the gray. So we have a very analog type of mind. So the same way how our brain is understanding and processing this information, we have to first understand That's how the brain processes information. And then two, we have to program the right habits, right thoughts, right actions um, into that brain program, right? And the reason why I'm talking about the brain, one, because usually we do Wellness Wednesdays. We've been doing that all, I think, like last year. So this is usually when I have classes, it's really about technicals, and a lot about psychology, a lot about manipulation, a lot of the stuff that people don't really talk about as much. And the one thing that gives us the edge and the another way of saying it is how to not be part of the masses. It's a big difference. And even if you have a strategy that seemingly works, it's very easy to get caught up in fake outs. It's very easy to be confused as why your trade isn't working. And I'll tell you that if I'm right, I always know why I'm right. If I'm wrong, I always know why I'm wrong. If the market is choppy, if it's doing something crazy, I always know the reason why. And I'm never confused. So there was a time where I was very confused, very frustrated, lost a lot of money, and I had to dig my way and find the reasons and reflect and go through everything to figure out why is it the market moves up? Why the market moves down? uh why does it wait on certain things to move? And it's a whole world and its layers and dimensions into it. You could pretty much call it like a Web 3.0, another dimension, right? It goes by its own rules. And even when you figure everything out, at the end of the day, the price will most likely do the opposite of what you think. And that's the name of the game, right? How is Wall Street making all this money? And how is all the people that you know that has invested in the stock market losing money? Because in a nutshell, the price will likely move in the opposite direction that you think it's going to move. And that's why this is chess. It's not checkers. And this is why I feel like my classes specifically are important, because we not only get to the technicals, the mindset, but also how the market moves and who moves the market maker. And they're only moving the market based on the agenda of the overall, people who created the stock market, right? The people who, I'm say created it, but like people who run it pretty much, the ones with the most money, who's running the game, right? So yeah, it's important to see all those perspectives because if we don't, then we're blind. We have a blind spot. It's like driving and you can see through your front, your sides, but not really your back. Some people they're only seeing through their front and they can't see anything else, right? They can't even see the sides, right? And you could apply that to technicals, right? Maybe some people are only seeing the the candles. They're not realizing, hey, this is a trend happening here. It's up or down. Or they might be looking at the technicals only, not the fundamentals, right? They might not be realizing, hey, let me see. Let's take a look. Mm, Microsoft may not have been the best trade today because it didn't really have any significant volume compared to yesterday, right? Yeah, great trades, this and that. But I would likely not trade this. Why? Because the volume, which is telling you how much people are participating in this stock, it's not that much compared to yesterday, right? Even if it is, right, it's just not enough for me, right? Versus Netflix, right? Let's take a look at this. See this volume? I was a lot higher than the previous day. That's called relative volume. That tells me a lot more people are trading this. It has a lot more juice. It has more potential to run. And boom, 100% this morning, right? You look at all these other ones, Nvidia, good volume, but it ain't, it's not relatively high enough for me to want to trade it, right? Why do I not want to trade it? Because there's other stuff out there that is better, right? There is like Pan W, right? I didn't, it wasn't on my watch list. It was on one of my other watch lists that I don't really watch. But someone called it out in the chat and Pan W went crazy. And you look at Pan W, I think they had earnings or whatever, but the volume was crazy. That is something to observe the volume because that's gonna give you a big reason for why things can move. All right, so I have a whole workshop on that. If you're in my one-on-ones, you'll get that automatically. But how to find stocks with momentum is a that's a skill, a very important skill. That's a money making skill. Every skill that I'm gonna talk about here, everything we're doing is about making money. At the end of the day, making money. All right. So people will say, I'll tell them, hey, I watched the EMA, I watched volume, I watched the trend, I watched the SPY, right? And I'm like, oh, it's a lot. I don't know if I could watch it. Well, it's about making money, right? Like, what are we doing this for? It's about making as much money as you want. It's the blank check. So, even if you're a teacher, you got to remember 20 to 30 kids' names, right? Imagine how tough that is. And all this is, I'm just saying, hey, just remember support, resistance, supply, demand, volume, EMAs, and trend and price action. Put it all together and you have whatever you want in life. I mean, of course, there's some things you can't buy, but if you get good at it, you could, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just talking and my fingers is just doing stuff, right? But I feel like I'm just programmed to just chart stuff now because I've just done it so much. But this is Celsius, right? If I back up, this is the 15 minute. So we're gonna go here and I want to say this is like a bear flag, right? But we could kind of confirm what's going on. We could go to let's go to the weekly, huge move down. I'm not seeing any reasons for it to bounce except for this, right? And this is our resistance. I'm just gonna draw that right there. Probably can move it down. So I'm just gonna activate it and let's put it the best spot right there. All right. If you zoom in, you can see, like I said, there's no reason or no situation where I'm ever confused at why the market bounced. There's no reason where I'm ever confused at why I lost or why I won. The market is gonna give you the reason. This here is showing you it bounced because with using this previous resistance as support, which is a basic 101 concept that everyone should know. All right. Once the resistance is broken, price should come back down to test it as support. Notice this happened all the way in 2021. All right. So Celsius, they've been going crazy. Man, 99 down to 41. Come on now. If that ain't a good buy, I don't know what is. Right. Of course, I don't know. Even if the worst comes to worst with the energy drinks itself on some fundamental stuff, this chart is just crazy, like straight up. And it just came straight down and just all it did is just test that previous resistance. And then you take in consideration how much percentage it came down, 99, it's like more than half. That's a nice sale. And even if I mean, another way of looking at this is check out the overextension even if it's trash, right? This is something that's likely to have a decent bounce. I would say at least to this 90 made about 47. Then you also have this previous support at about 44. So, get you a nice swing on that. Let's see. Definitely up. You want to see if it gets above the EMAs. So notice I'm using different analyses. Sounds fancy, right? Analyses. One is trend analysis, right? Saying, hey, we're in an uptrend. I guess I didn't really give you guys a trend analysis yet, but trend analysis is higher highs, higher lows, right? This is the previous, well, there's many different lows. You could say this is one, this is one as well. Um, higher highs, higher lows. Now, this is a downtrend, yes, in the short term. Overall, this is still an uptrend. All right. So we could dissect it even more and talk about all the details and this and that. And this is an uptrend, this is a downtrend on this time frame, whatever. But trend analysis, that's one. And then you got the EMA analysis, and then you got the price action analysis, which is the candles. What is the candles doing? We've seen that this candle respected this as support, which is what gave us one piece of the puzzle, one clue that fills in the gap of the story, what's happening. So yeah, from this, we just know we dive down and we bounced at this previous resistance, right? And this is acting as a floor. Very high probability of a bounce because of the overextension to the downside. Now, yeah, if you guys took my mentorship or anything, you know I have five key conditions. So you got to use those like tools, and EMA is one of those. I didn't use the EMA yet, but notice once I go down to the low time frames, I want to know if this is gonna bounce right now. And that's where my other tools come into play. All right. It's like a toolkit, right? You don't need to use your hammer every day, but when you need it, it's very handy, right? This EMA, I would like to see the price get above the EMA and hold it as support. But also now that we started to go a little bit deeper into the details, we could see this channel and we could see that we're at the bottom of this channel and we're actually holding this channel as support, right? And that could give you a nice reason that we should be moving up right now. So, it's a lot of fun things that you could do, right? And you could go deeper and deeper, lower and lower in the time frames, and you'll be pretty much doing the same thing. Now we could get into our patterns. Simple patterns would be like, okay, there's only three things the price could do: breakout, reverse, or pull back, right? Let me say that right. That pullback is more of a pullback type of trade, right? So it either break out of this once it's traveling up, it might come down, which is just a pullback potentially, and you could get in on that pullback to go up, right? So that pullback trade is one type of trade, right? So that's two: breakout, pullback trade, and then you got the reversal trade off of any key level. So yeah, that's just the system in a nutshell. For anyone who wants to learn, anyone who already did learn, it's a refresher. And that is just a snippet of what's going on in my brain, right? Just a snippet. But yeah, throw any questions you guys have in the chat. Brian says that was an amazing trade. Well done, Cam. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. This is this is the I guess I'll say it's a new beginning, new performance. And let's see. We got Meta right here. This is the trade. And the whole goal is stay steady on the days that the market is moving normal, go crazy on the days that the market is moving crazy. Um, and that's that. So it's more about being aligned with the market, right? Some people say, oh, stay away because this and that is happening. That's not me. Why? Because it's always a trade. Why? Because even on the choppiest days, the market is gonna move. And you could scalp and you could get a 20 to 30% move, which is amazing amount of percentage. All right. All you gotta do is get good at your tools. That's it. All right. There should be a lot of questions because there's at least five different tools that I mentioned. And everyone should know it. Like, I hate saying the back of your hand because sometimes I don't know what the back of my hand looks like. But guys should be very confident in in your tools. You know, some people use RSI, MACD, whatever. But that's the whole goal. That's the whole name of the game. Get confident in your tools so you don't have to think. Uh, let's see. Any questions? Meta, that was a quick move. Let's see. We have 102, went to 44, then 102. QQQ. This one, we got a bounce. 50%. This was in about an hour and a half. And QQQ, let's take a look at the 15-minute. And where did we get this from? We have this sandwich. I love saying sandwich, right? Sandwich of zones. Price broke out of it, came down. This was a high probability trade. High. Why? Back to 101. Trend analysis. Higher highs, higher equal higher lows, right? I said that wrong. Higher highs and higher lows equal uptrend. So the price closed above this, which gave validation for upside continuation. Came down, right? Created this hammer candle, signaling a potential move up. And if that was to happen, right? Notice it's chess, not checkers. So notice it's not just hammer candle reversal. It's if the okay, yes, being that this is a hammer candle, if this is to go up, what would that mean and what would that look like? Um, and of course, yes, there is a probability that it could go up and then reverse and go back down. What is the risk reward on getting in on this idea right now, right? Is it that high of a probability trade to take that risk, or should I wait for some more details? I seen this as high probability. Why? Because we're already seeing that this is support, a zone. Two, we're already seeing higher highs, higher lows from here. Well, such just the higher highs. This is a potential higher low, which I mentioned in the Discord, my personal Discord. And this one, I was saying, okay, this was it. This was it. I gotta recap my whole day, but I was looking at the other stocks. I told I told the chat, Tesla's holding support, Nvidia's not Nvidia, Netflix is holding support. A couple other stocks is holding support. So if you watch the stocks and you know what's happening in the overall market and vice versa. So that also gave me confidence that this is likely to bounce, right? You see this volume candle, see that increase? That's telling you someone's coming into the party. Hammer candle, someone's reversing the party, right? To the upside. Same thing with the spook. Same thing with the spy, right? We got two. This is a support, higher low, already closed above everything. Very high probability trade. All right. So of course, and like this is different, right? Because notice this is under the 15 uh the EMAs. So like Cam, you said if it's bullish, is you know, you gotta wait for it to be above to be bullish, but it's under, it's bearish. Why are you entering for a call? And this is why I say you gotta understand your environment, understand the trade patterns that you're using because some patterns are it's okay to go against the EMA. Why? Because it's a reversal pattern, right? Reversals from the bottom, the price is more likely to be under the EMA. Why? Because it's on the bottom. It's so low, you're trying to get it back to the top. It's pardon it, it's just the natural thing to happen. The EMA shouldn't be below it. Or most of the time it wouldn't. On most support reversals or demand reversal trades, you know. So the more you back test, you're gonna pick up on this type of stuff. right? And then you're gonna be less confused. Um, you could always, like I said, what I did, I went to the 5 minute, I went to the 1 minute, and then that gave me more confidence of what is going on, right? I want to see it hold that 90 EMA as support, right? See that hammer candle, people are like, oh, it's gonna go down. Well, no, it's still green and we're still above. And wow, kept on going up. Kept on going up. Any questions? Any questions? Beginner questions? Advanced questions? The Love King, what's going on, brother? He said, how much of the love did I miss? You bringing in a lot of love today, man. You feel the energy, brother. Let me see. Yeah, man. QQQ. Yeah. Well, you're in luck, man. I actually recorded it today. I was debating whether I should hit the button. I got it. I'll upload it to YouTube, but keep it like a private video. So Brian would like the Tesla analysis. Hey, okay. This will be easy. All right, so we're gonna, I have like five. I have a lot of different drawings for Tesla by itself. So it's funny. Every drawing will pull up something different, like different levels. I don't know what this is. We're gonna look at the 4 hour. All right, well, in one Tesla chart, what drawing is this? 33. Hmm. All right. Hmm. This is the 4 hour chart. I usually like to start from the monthly, but it's a lot of lines. But anyway, I'm gonna start anyways. See, we got this big move up, big move down. And we've just been chopping, right? And this since 2020, we had that big move. Um, 2023 was that low, crazy, whatever, right? Years, I don't know. I don't like talking about years. I just like talking about just the waves. So let me stop confusing myself with the time and just focus on the waves. So yeah, big wave up, coming down. Notice we held this higher low here. Technically, it broke it, but notice candle close, right? Start learning more about my technique, right? Not gonna give it all, right? I can give it all, right? You guys, you gotta get into the mentorship. September mentorship. It's gonna be the best ever. You guys will um learn everything. Video library, live classes for 6 weeks, personal help, everything. 5.99 at the moment, right? But we start at September 8th if you guys want to join. All right. But very key thing about this is a low. Notice we could not close under that low. Big sign that we're gonna reverse. Ever since then, came down and we went up. Now, it's not just saying that okay, went up, went down. It's where did we actually go down? Where did we go up? This is demand zone, huge one. Do the top of that line, notice we could not close below that line, right? Could not close below that line. These are the signs, these are the concepts that give me high confidence, right? High probability in what the price is likely to do. And these are not complex things. right? It's a very simple things. A kindergartner could actually understand this, right? Hey, little kid. I don't hang around kids that much, so I don't know how to. I gotta get used to hanging around kids and talking to them more. But hey kid, is this make sure this candle doesn't close under this, right? As long as it doesn't close under this, the price should go up. And I'm pretty sure the kid will probably, you know, understand that. I will hope, right? But I feel like adults, it's confusing for us for some reason. I don't know why. But candle close, maybe I'll say it's like the truth of the market, right? It's the truth of I like in my head, this is how the banks talk to each other. But the masses haven't picked up on this simple little thing, right? Um, only like let's see this for some reason. See how this closed under this too? Nah, it didn't really close. I'm lying. I can't use that as an example. But yeah, don't want to stress it too much. But yeah, we're gonna continue and check the chat. Let me see what's good. New to the group, seeing the post, curious to know the trader style analysis. Looking forward to the reviewing on SPX or XSP. On I don't trade SPX. It will be either SPY or QQQ if it's any ETFs. Let me see. Wayne says, "Hey, can you talk about the best way to build a small account, please?" The best way to build a small account, um, is getting super good at the technicals. Super good. That's the best way, right? But all right, I know you want a better answer, which is how you should go about that with the money, right? So we're gonna finish up the Tesla and then we'll get to the small account. Remind me, just in case, if I get lost in this analysis, to talk about the small account, right? So Tesla is bouncing off of this previous resistance, right? And that's why we're seeing this nice move up. There you go. Like I said, I was saying earlier that I'm never confused at why the market bounced. Never confused at why I lost. Never confused at why I won. The market, the technical analysis is literally telling you. But there was a time I was confused because I didn't know, right? And I was frustrated because I didn't know, and I just had to dig deep and use the tools on different time frames to truly understand, right? So I want to use a different, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys my different drawings. But before I do, see this, move up, see this flag. Let me just extend it to the right. That's pretty much what's happening. This was the previous consolidation area. This is the main level here for that demand zone. Notice that is where the price had trouble closing at. That is where we bounced, created higher highs ever since that point. We are still holding support and likely to head up. Why? Well, let me not say this isn't a perfect picture. It's a little bit wacky because I want to say it is holding this 90 man support, but it's doing it in a very weird way. Like see, this is normal, right? But this like closed under and then there's some wacky stuff. But this is showing you the environment of the market is just pretty wacky, it's up and down, but still going in one direction when you look back at it. Um, where should we head to next? Simply look to the left. Wow, 228. If you get past 228, look to the left. 232. That's it. Now we're gonna look at the different time frame, not the time frames, the default, right? And we're gonna back it up, back it up, back it up. We're gonna move this move through this a little bit quicker. Okay, so we showed you the bull flag here. This is also a bull flag from the weekly time frame. You can see we've been consolidating, consolidating, and we're experiencing a breakout. We came down and we're pushing up. And we came down to that consolidation area, which is very thick, right? You see this is another demand zone. You could draw that. Oops. Zoom out. All right. This was, see this big move? Remember these big moves. Bow, sideways, draw it like that. Notice that's where all that consolidation is happening. Notice you had that fake out and a big move right back up. Engulfing candle. That's showing you, yeah, the move ain't real. It's fake. Right? Just try and get your money so they can do stuff like this, right? And then you're gonna create, come back all the way back down, and then do another stuff like that. Well, I don't really know. I'm just talking. So that is one perspective on Tesla. Let's see another one. Let's see another one. 2024. But yeah, Tesla is pretty much above this 9 EMA on the weekly time frame, which is very powerful. Why? Because the weekly time frame don't play games, right? If it tells you something, most likely is gonna do what it says, right? If it's a green candle, it's gonna be green. If it's red, it's gonna be red. It's very hard to manipulate the candles on a weekly chart, right? You can manipulate this all you want. See, this is today. This is look at this craziness from 9:30, 10:30. Okay, we going down. Oh no, we going up. Okay, we going down. And then we going up. Okay, we gonna go down. Oh no, we really gonna go up. All right. So 1 minute chart manipulated like crazy. It's hard to manipulate 1 week of price action. That's why one candle on 1 week holds so much weight. Monthly, monthly candles, monthly projections, um, even more emphasis on it. All right. You're seeing higher lows, higher highs, chart patterns above EMAs, below EMAs, volume, whatever. Time frame matters, right? So these are all one-on-one stuff in my opinion. Um, but we gotta at the same time being really consistent is just being good at the basics, right? That's all it is. I'm in the middle of actually creating so let's say something for my business, right? And it's more based around trading as being known as a sport, right? You got to be an athlete in this, and that's what it really is. It's just when you look at any athletes, Kobe, anybody great, they'll always talk about doing the basic stuffs over and over and over. Um, Gilbert Arenas, I was watching in his interview, basketball player, and he was saying he's teaching the young kids, and he's telling them to do this layup or this move in a layup, and they're adding so much stuff to it when he's just trying to get them to do the basic stuff. He's like, that's gonna come later, right? But we need to do 50 of these first, and then we could add on to it, right? And it's the same thing here with trading. A lot of people are coming in and they want to do this, that, and the third, add on to this. Maybe this is not working. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let me throw my opinion in it too, right? Um, when we just have to get good at the basics, right? And some of us, we don't even know what the basics are. We don't know what all the basics are, right? Imagine going, and like I said, you could compare this to athletics. You can compare this to college. Another way when it comes to learning, because I say, imagine going sign up for college and you don't even know the classes you're gonna take for that semester, right? You don't know the classes that's gonna lead you up to graduation. You're just okay. I'm just gonna do this engineering thing, and you know, we just go with the flow. And honestly, that's what you're doing. But when you start, they give you the curriculum. They tell you gotta do this class, this class, this class. You know it's coming. You know what to prepare yourself for. Whether you got calculus or you have this engineering theory Theory 102, 101 is going to be harder than that one. Same thing with trading. People don't know what the curriculum is. And the curriculum is usually the same for a lot of traders. The trend, right? Everyone, there's not one trader, no investor that does not use the trend, right? You could use a trend in infinite amount of ways, right? So when I talk about the trend analysis and I get no questions, it shows me, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to assume, but I don't know how much thought goes into the just the trend, right? And how much you could use that for to make money, right? And then you got a lot of other tools, volume, EMAs. These are all basic, basic stuff. It just looks fancy because I'm using it all at the same time, right? I'm tapping my foot. Um, I'm rubbing my belly. I'm talking to you guys, and I'm probably doing something, but they're all basic moves, but it just looks impressive because I'm doing it at the same time, right? And you guys have already most likely proved to yourself that you could develop something and do it a lot of things at the same time, like driving, right? Driving, we had to check the seat belt, the mirror, and we had to think at some point, and then we got so good at it, we just don't got to think. We could talk and drive and eat or whatever. So our brain is set up to adapt. The thing is that is going to have a very hard time adapting if the information is random, right? Imagine your driver instructor is telling you, okay, uh, turn left on rights and then turn right on lefts. You know, it's like, yeah, you have the ability to drive, but your instructions are off, right? So that's why it's very important. Happy you guys came to class. Um, but yeah, this is why the September mentorship is super important. It's gonna be really, really, really good. It's gonna be packed with a bunch of not pre-recorded. I'm gonna be recording and updating videos, more like 3 5 minute videos on every single concept there is in trading, so that you guys have the curriculum and you're not confused at what the basics are, um, and you could see everything on the table, right? For example, I think I have my mentorship workbook, and it's important because it gives you my trading system in a nutshell, right? It's important to just have everything organized so your brain could process it. Doom, 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 doom. All right, let's see. So small account. Let me see. Tesla. I don't think we got into the intraday. I like the one minute chart. Notice this is the 15 minute, and I'm just choosing the time frame based on how well I could read what's happening. This is a little bit too much information that I need right now. 1 hour is just where I need to be. It's perfect, right? So we've seen this bounce here at the 50 EMA. What I'm gonna do is something very simple. This is gonna be another version of clear air. This is a interesting high to me. Interesting high. Notice where we are in the price. What I just did, I just created a battlefield. I just created a game. That's market structure, right? We're trading in between this level 221 and this level 232. If we hold this, we should travel straight up to 232. All right. Uh, if you want to go further, you have levels within there. Bow, bow. Before we get to 232, we got to clear 224. And then we'll go straight up to 228. Then we got to clear 228. Let's get to the boss, right? Bowser at the end of the game, 232, right? So those levels to this, but you don't know what the game is unless you chart properly. And then in order to chart properly, you got to find the right time frame. And if you're using starting from the daily time frame, then you, let's see, wouldn't have been able to pick up on that because you couldn't have seen it. So you got to use all your time frames. Use your monthly, weekly, and I started at weekly really. Monthly is more extreme for me. But weekly 4 hour 15 is three good time frames to use if you want to keep it short. All right, so Wayne Bush. Oh, I said Bush. Bois, Wayne Bois. You see what are the most important basic lessons and learn in trading? Cool, I'm gonna answer that. And then uh the Love King, where can I find a link? I'm not familiar with the whole Discord yet. All right, cool. Let me see. Yeah, you want the link for the family reunion? Let me see. Family reunion Discord. Are you in the signed up for the family reunion Discord? I'll send you because there's two links. There's one for the family reunion, and then there's one I have for my personal one. So I'm in a family reunion. I'm not familiar with it completely. Okay. So you said you want the link for what again? Yeah, let me see. I would like the info. Okay. Okay, cool. My link tree should have all of it. Link tree. Or if I go to my Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. And if I just copy that, paste it. Yeah, so it should have join my Discord community. That's my personal one. So I'm gonna okay, yeah, my YouTube channel. This is my free book. Very, 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 very good book. Very quick. It's gonna give you guys the blueprint on like things you should be doing for your trading. I think Wayne just asked that question. What are the most important things to learn with trading? Let me paste this link tree into the chat. And then let's see the oh no, it's right here. Class weekly price. Okay, yep. So yeah, I have a payment plan for the I got a payment plan for the mentorship too, in case anyone needs that. Make sure that works. Suspicious link. What? Go off this site. Yep. All right, cool. So yeah, this is for 6 weeks, so it's pretty much you could pay with $100 a week, right? You'll get access to trade alongside with me in my personal Discord. And obviously the goal is to make money, right? So think about that. 6 weeks, right? You're also getting access to the video library, the brand new video library, which is gonna be honestly $3,000 eventually. It's a gold mine, which I'm pretty much underselling right now. But it's literally trading from A to Z. So that I don't have to be here and teach you every little concept over and over. It's better for you guys so you can play it back. And then is all the mentorship also includes the 6 weeks together, really, the live classes and learning my system, PowerPoint, and basics from A to Z. So yeah, you're gonna get me to teach you everything A to Z, and then you're gonna have a video library teaching you in more detail from A to Z that you could play back forever. Alongside the Discord and being able to trade with me alongside for 6 weeks. All for just $100 or 599. The price is likely to go up the last week. Um, so yeah, that's the early bird price. But now, check it out, man. Check it out. So let's see. Let's see. Make sure I answered Wayne's question. What's the most important basic lessons to learn in trading? Um, the trading is so much lessons. And that's why I love it so much, right? It's greed. I'll tell you, greed is one that I've been dealing with, right? Learning the lesson of greed. Even when you get so good, you still got to deal with greed, right? How to manage yourself, right? When to take profits, right? So people got to learn how to deal with fear, right? Um, you know, fear is part of that greed. Lessons, how to manage your money, right? Really the biggest thing, how to manage yourself, how to manage your emotion, how to manage your decision makings, um, all of that. Let's see. Oh, no, it's all good, man. He says, if your questions on SPX, let me see. Did I miss the question? Let me see. Should I ask about XSP because it's the same as SPY, but it moves identical to SPX and cheap. Oh, okay. Cool. I always wondered why people like trade like inverse or like other stuff. I try to keep it simple, SPY, and I just trade a SPY, you know. I get the SPX because those returns are crazy. Um, Definitely it's more expensive, a little more volatile. Yeah, it actually takes more skills in my opinion, to trade SPX than SPY. So I just keep it simple with SPY. Let me see. And cheap as a SPY contracts. Yep. I cannot cover how to build a small account. All right. So how small? Because small is relative. What's the number you got? That you want me to explain as an example. 500. That's just the number I was thinking of, right? If you go to all of my trades, right? Go into Discord, take a look, start from today. How much did it cost to get into my trades? This one, $1, $100, right? Right. This one, $55. That's it. Two trades. One for 100%, one for 50%. All you needed was $150. What would you have ended up with? This one, I'm gonna say this was two take profits. The first one was 44. You should take off one contract, but if you only have one contract, then you ended up with 44, technically. If you had two contracts, then you would have got 102% out of one of those contracts. Um, so let me go with the 44. So 44 bucks, right, off of that first trade if you took one contract. And then 55, 50%, 20 is, let's say 30 bucks, right? Since we kind of rounded down on the other one. 30 bucks out of this one, and 30 about 74, 75 bucks. Let's just say you made $75 on a day off of 150 bucks. That's 50% on your money, right? Even if you got two contracts, right? Instead of buying one, paying 102 bucks, you bought two, which will cost you $204. And then you bought two of these, which will cost you $110. You still got enough. That's how much did we say this one was? 204 plus 100, and that's 300 and 14 bucks, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Under $500. So if you made 75, you'd have made $150 with two contracts on these trades. And that is about 30% of 500, I believe, around that. So imagine, okay, let's say you did the same thing. I'm not saying it's very possible. You can make more, you can make less. But if you made $150, like we just explained, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 days, $150. Let's say you have one bad day. Let's multiply by four, right? 4 days instead of five. Um, I'm not saying a bad day, but it's a iffy day or whatever. 4 days is 400 and that's $600. Doubled your account in 4 days. So instead of 500, now you have um a thousand thousand. Yeah. So now you're going in next week. Maybe you could take three contracts, and the name of the game is consistency. The name of the but then the in order to be consistent, the real name of the game is this. You want to know how to build a small account? Do we want to know why people can't do it consistently? Because of this. They don't want to settle for this because they're looking for this. And when you get this, it's hard to settle for this. What's the difference? This one you got 100%, and then now you got to settle for 50%. And then next year you might have to settle for 20%, but you're so used to making 100%, 80%. So it's how do you know when to take your profit? Right? All the percentages. Well, it could keep going up. I don't know if it could. Yeah, we'll never know. Right? So the whole thing is, when are you satisfied? How do you know when you're satisfied in the midst of all this emotion of the possibility of you making more money, right? Um, and that's just on the logical side of things. We haven't gotten to the rationalness of your brain and all the emotion and stuff, stupid stuff you tell you yourself about why you should stay in. Kind of how like I told myself this week. It's a whole story, but greed, right? And you look back at it, and it really comes back down to your rules. You have to have rules. Um, People want to leave their job. I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work here. I just want to have my own business, right? But you got to know, once you leave your job, which comes all these rules of where you got to be there at a certain time, this and that, all these rules. Once you leave, now you're entering a dimension of no rules, right? Let's see how you operate when you have no rules, no structure, no nothing going on, right? It's a totally different ball game, right? It's like going to the gym and you have to lose 15 pounds for your wedding or whatever the case is, and you're going in there with a plan versus you going in there without a plan. Two totally different um, you know, results. But yeah, people just don't like rules. Who doesn't like rules? Your ego, right? Your ego doesn't like being told that it's not doing it's just a lot of dimensions to that, but writing a whole book on it. Writing a whole book on it. You are not your mind. Bow. Um, Let me see. So small account, you should aim for 20 to 30% take profits until you build your account. Now, to be able to know how to go for more than that, take skills. That's it. That's why I said focus on getting good at your technicals, learn how to work your tools, invest in your education. Um, I'll promise you, 6 weeks from September 8th, you will be a totally different trader. You will not be the same trader. You would be very advanced within 6 weeks. All right. For $600. $600 is gonna go somewhere. All right. At least let it go to at least you use that to build your skills, right? That's gonna last you a lifetime to allow you to make 600 million. Real talk. It's real. And like I couldn't be even more serious because you could literally make 600 million from the stock market. The way that I'm teaching you. All right. So she said, now with $500, what percentage of your account would you trade at one time? Uh, at one time, like being in one trade. Obviously not all of it. But easy rule would say half, 250. So you know, you could take out say aim for about $100 per trade or less. No more than 100. There you go. No more than 100. If you go above 100, like to 125 or whatever, you better be super confident. Everything better be on point. 5 out of 5, right? Which is what I teach to know how, the checklist, all that stuff, right? Checklist, checklist. So I was at a wedding this weekend and I'm the groomsman, right? And I don't know how, but we got to the place, getting ready, take our pictures and everything. The groomsman forgets the suit. How? Right? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But at the end of the day, what this taught me was we need to have a checklist. It doesn't matter what this and that. Yes, you have to take a pause. Got to have a checklist because at the end of the day, if the worst comes to worst happens, um, you don't want to say I coulda, shoulda, woulda. So, checklist, one of the most important things. All right. Um, but yeah, let me see. $500, $100 per trade. You could do, like I said, there's you can go 55 cents, a dollar for your trade. You have to have that range, and based on how confident you are in a trade, respect that range. If you're more confident, go with the higher range. If you're less confident, go with the lower range. You can make money both ways. Sometimes you won't be able to afford certain strikes. It's gonna be kind of frustrating. Um, but just try to stick to learning. I mean, I'll say I point out I call out good plays for like 100 or less. But if as I don't know where you're at, um, but it is tricky as a beginner to like only play with to try to play certain stocks with $100. Spy you could do it, but something like Eli Lilly obviously costs a lot more. Stuff is like tricky. Meta, it's expensive. Could be. So yeah. All right. So I had to paper trade QQQ and got dyslexic reading your post grabbed at 488. But as soon as my funds clear, I'm catching the next one. And 4 okay. And then how long do you have? Wait, let me see, make sure. Let me see. You got dyslexia, you grabbed the 488 call. 488. Yeah, that's far. Four, no, 40. Okay, yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far. But as soon as my funds clear. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, yep. Them funds, yep. More opportunities coming. We got more opportunities coming. Let me see. And how long do you have to purchase the membership until the start? Yeah, you got until the day of. Got until the day of. It's gonna be a great time. Good learning. Celebrating Black excellence on this one. Caucasian excellence. Indian excellence. All right, we representing for all human beings, and we're gonna be the greatest traders ever. All right, so that is probably it, right? There's only so much we could talk about with what's gonna happen tomorrow because we don't know until it happens. Today we was in the range, didn't really give us much information. Uh, well, it gave us some good information, but you know, it's nothing crazy. Tomorrow, I don't know if there's any events, but let's check it out. Today was the minutes. Let's check it out. Check it out on Market Watch. And then tomorrow's Thursday. Initial jobless claims, 8:30 in the morning. Hmm. I noticed that they have initial jobless claims like every week. Like, look at this. Next week. So it had me questioning like how important or how significant is jobless claims? Did not notice that. Just last week, right? Um, these I don't, I get it, I guess the more jobs we have, the better for the economy, I guess. But there's other ones like core PPI, PCI. I guess I gotta understand those a little bit more. But all of them, I treat them the same. Hey, the market can make a big move. It's a reason for the market to move. That's it. Doesn't matter what the number is. Look at the technicals. They'll tell you, right? People talking about, oh, the minutes, oh, the news didn't come out yet. Well, I'm not waiting on the news. The technicals is telling me what's happening, right? The news, you gotta understand there's different types of news that affects the market. Most news that come out, um, it's not like it's not like news where like they don't know, right? They've been setting up the market for or I don't know, vice chicken and egg. Whether they're setting up the market for the news, whether they're dropping the news at a certain time, or whatever it is. But you all you need is technical analysis to know what it's likely to happen, right? Of course, you can have a big move down, big move up, but the you'll be able to see where those moves are likely to bounce, what's happening based on technicals, right? So this was at 12 o'clock. The news came out at 2 o'clock, all the way up here. I did not wait until two. I said, F that. I see this support, high probability, everything else telling me this is holding up on the support on all the stocks. Get in. And then we got out 50%. That's that. Um, and do this rinse and repeat. You got 20 different stocks here to do the same thing. Just get good at repeating that process. And that's that, right? So my whole thing is training like an athlete. Just like, every athlete or basketball player gotta do a layup, a dunk, a dribble, a pass. There's no different with trading. You're gonna have to use, read the trend. Whether you want to use EMAs, get good at charting. All these things is not brand new. It's just more of how you're doing it, how you're thinking, and this is the difference at what I am presenting. And yeah, if you guys don't have the book is gonna it's in my bio. It's gonna help you know what exactly you should be focusing on in order to improve and get better. All right, guys. Great class. Great class. Appreciate everyone. But sticking through. He said Citigroup. He said one more. City, I think is it just okay? I might have a different ticket then. I thought it was CI. Ah, now that's gangster. That's gangster. You just got C. So, oof, huge chop. Wow. The hell happened here? 2007. All right. So, we'll keep this simple. Why did I draw that? Huge move up. This was the high before that, which we broke out. So, being that the price is under here, if we're ever going to travel up, if we simply look to the left, this is where we stopped at. Honestly, I didn't really see this as much. I was looking at this and I just drew that, and this happened to bounce, bounce, bounce. Now, I guess you could say we could zoom in, right? But I still see stuff here. So all I'm doing, highs and lows. That's all I'm doing. Highs, lows, highs, lows. This is the monthly. Yeah, this is the monthly chart. Um, Highs and lows, basic, right? All right. It's not. Well, they're pretty good. It's not touching exactly. Top down. Yes, indeed. How far back? As far back as I need to go. Um, right? I don't even know what year this is. I don't care. I'm just looking at the waves up and down. Um, I'm just looking for what's relative to where the price is at right now. If you just see, okay, this is the area we're at. Look to the left, what highs and lows is in the area. If you want, you could draw this high there, right? But notice now it's starting to get more and more levels. So if you want to have clean analysis, you don't have to draw levels at every single high, but make sure you want to get good at knowing which are the important highs, important lows, so you know where your important levels are. Notice I drew that. Look where the price bounced. Bing. All the way from 500, $600 to nine. Oh my gosh, you bounced right at the previous low. How did you know that? Right? Imagine you was part of this. Imagine you was part of this whole thing, and you just all you did was draw that low, and you caught that bounce from $9 to 50 something dollars, and they like you were a genius. But all you did was something simple. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Keep it basic. You can make, I'm not gonna say how much, or I mean more of a time, but you can make millions, billions off of a simple support line. All right. The one I think made it a little confusing. I don't know which line is respecting better. Okay, this one is respecting better than this one, so I'm gonna delete this. All right. Notice you have a channel now, upper channel, lower channel, middle of the channel. It's the monthly chart. Okay, so those are more structure. You could draw highs and lows within this. Why am I choosing this one? Because this is where the price is at. If we're traveling up, that's the next high if you look to the left. This one here, draw that. Why? Because that was the previous high before we broke out. Use that as support, went up, came back down, use that support. It's also the higher low, which means we're bullish. Um, and then yeah, you could draw highs and lows in all these candles. This is the monthly chart. Still on the monthly. Yep. And we just getting started, right? I didn't even get to my other tools yet. And notice this is just a monthly, right? We got one, two, three, four, five main time frames that we got to do the same exact thing on that as well, right? Um, but notice I'm just doing simple stuff. Find the highs, find the lows, draw a line. I know you're like, okay, why didn't you draw this one? Well, the price ain't past this one yet. So I don't care about that one, right? So until we pass this one, then I'll go to the next one. Then I'll go to the next, then I'll go to the next one. Right? So yeah, that is just level to level analysis, support resistance, whatever you want to call it. Then you got the EMA analysis. Okay. Crossover. Above the 9 EMA, holding that 50 EMA support. Okay, next up, we got volume analysis. This is pretty high volume over here. It's been decreasing up and down, choppy, pretty low volume. Not really telling me anything crucial. Right, still the monthly chart, so I'm not expecting too much details. There's just the overall picture. But notice we pushed up and we experienced a pullback, and what I'm expecting is a nice green candle to go back up if we're still bullish, and we should expect to go to about 69. If I'll say 58, 68, hold that support, but that's why we have to go down to our lower time frames. All right, above this is the weekly time frame above that EMA. Yep, you can see use that as support. It came up, but we are still below this 9 EMA, which is bearish. Let's go to the 9. I mean the daily bearish, right? Um, but iffy because we're under the 50 EMA, but over that 9, right? So now we're starting to see some bullishness in the play. Now you can start drawing some more of your levels. I mean, I know I didn't want to draw that before, but all I'm doing is drawing levels and highs. You have to break this one at 62 to get to 66, to get to 68. So levels to the downside. You see this, the previous low. Um, Not really a fan of those as much. I would rather use the lows in this picture here, but you have to go down to the lower time frame, get a better picture, right? So if it breaks this low here, then you expect it to get to this demand zone here, right there. And then you got slow there, slow there. So now you're creating the game. In between these is nothing. It's clear air, right? But you shouldn't have to worry about these levels. Why? Because you haven't broken below this level. And then, vice versa. Take a level to level, and that's that. This is the 4 hour chart. This was uh level of support that should hold as resistance. But notice we closed above it. Yeah, and came down. So yeah, we're playing off of this level, which we closed below it. But that bounce is interesting to me because we didn't use that 50 EMA. It looks bearish because we closed under it. So I'm gonna see if there's any structure that we missed inside there. Now, maybe the structure isn't there. Maybe you just can't see it. Look, there's nothing there. I don't see anything there. Let's actually check the 15 minute to confirm that. Straight move. Nothing there. Why did you bounce? Why did you bounce? And this is after before market move. Why did you bounce there? Hmm. Definitely close there at 60, right? 60, nothing there. We're on the 1 minute. 60. Yep. So it's looking like it was in a downtrend and it didn't finish the downtrend. But another way of, hey, if you don't see anything there, there's another tool that you could use called a Fibonacci. And all you want to do is draw it using, no, we're not using that one. This is, there's different waves, right? This is one overall wave, but within it, you have waves within the waves. So I like this as a nice, strong start because we have this consolidation, nice start, strong move that carried us up, right? So I'm going to start the wave from there and I'm going to put it there. 618 is a high probability level. Um, let's see me. Oops. Okay. There to the high. So here to there, but also 78.6 is another one. It technically is. It did dip under it, and now it's holding it as support. So it's not a clean bounce, but um, see this. I'm trying to do too much to prove something, and this is just saying it's not a high probability trade. But yeah, that's just a good little example of analysis. Eventually, you could go down to your 15 minutes, and then you could go to your 5 minute. You can analyze the volume, analyze ups and downs and everything. All right, let's see. Yeah, the blue is a 9 and the gold is a 50. The volume shows the amount of buyers and sellers do that month. Yeah, so if this is the 15-minute chart, each candle is 15 minutes and the volume bar is going to be the same thing, 15 minutes. So how much transactions occurred in that 15-minute period? Usually at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day is the highest amount of volume. Why? Because the market just opened and the market is just closing. So people want to, do a lot at those opening and ending times, which is why the volume bars are super huge compared to during the day. 618 is on nature's level. Fibonacci, if you Google it, or YouTube it, it's gonna tell you how it's like part of nature, even in the leaves or in the ocean or just the universe. It's like a spiral, and it's a mathematical thing that 618.618 is it's like a fractional number that repeats itself over and over and over. So when you test it out, it works in a market. Find any wave, if we pull back to that 618 level, likely the market is likely to reverse at that level. When he says, does it tell me where there were more buyers and sellers? Um, mm, Not by itself. Um, the you would have to use your um tools, I guess your analysis tools like price action to and support or resistance and pretty much everything to put the pieces of the puzzle together to let you know if there was more buyers than sellers. And technically, there's never more buyers and sellers because every transaction is equal. But I see what you mean because obviously to push the market down, there was more selling activity. Let me see, aggressive sellers is what someone would call it. But yeah, more people looking to sell and to buy. And how do I know that? Because the candles came down, right? Uh, and then you could say because that happened in the past, right? And it started from about this area. I'm just picking a random area, so don't say, okay, why did you draw that there? Or why is it drawn like that? It's just random. But because this is the start of with that move, you could expect sellers to be here. If price comes up, why is sellers going to be there? Because sellers was there before and pushed the market down. Simple. And it's up to you to believe in it, to see it by back testing and doing the work, right? By actually drawing the stuff and seeing, oh, when price actually did come to this, it actually did reverse. That's how I was able to call out trades and everyone was made whoever took the trade was able to make money today, right? Demand zone. Who would have confidence taking a trade like this? I would because I've seen it work over and over and over and over, right? This is something that happens over and over and over and over. And I know that as someone who's new, you don't believe it because why should you, right? It's only until you draw, first learn how to draw properly, then do it yourself and actually experience seeing this move happening. Then that's how the confidence starts to build. And once the confidence starts to build, then you'll be able to actually buy into these. And once you do it repeatedly, it becomes part of your nature, part of your skill, and part of your income if done right. That's the process. It's all a process, all a process, right? A lot of people they want to sign up and make money just like that, which kind of could because we're calling out signals. But to do it yourself, it is a process, right? Just going through the basics. Just going through the basics. Don't overlook the basics. Don't overlook the basics. Let me see. I think that's it. Appreciate you guys coming on through. Coming on through. It's 9:30, so we got a nice hour and a half. But all right, man. Guys, got any questions? Hit me up. September 8th, it's going down. Get the early bird price while it's there. Appreciate you guys. All right. So I'll see you in the next one.